so AMI Week 8, word problems involving quadratics. So this is going to be our last AMI lesson for the school year that we're going to look at here. So what we got, John and Alex are kicking a soccer ball back and forth to each other. The equation below represents the height of the ball at a specific point in time. S is equal to negative 4t squared plus 24t, where t is time in seconds and s is height in feet. Okay? So let's see what it asks us to, see what it asks us to do with that there. First off, how long does it take for the soccer ball to come back to the ground? Well, that's a 0. Okay? Remember, if we're thinking about parabolas, you know, this soccer ball, we're going to kick it, it's going to go up, and it's going to come back to the ground. So that ground level there are the zeros. So when it's asking it, here you kick it, it goes up to your buddy and comes back to hit the ground. How long does that take for that to happen? Okay? So t is the time in seconds and s is the height in feet. So all we're looking for here on something like this is we can, we're going to actually solve it. So looking at our equation up here, let me highlight that so I don't lose it. Just pretend like those are x's and y's, whatever, if that bothers you. I want to solve this a totally different way that we haven't done yet. I'm going to take a GCF out. I can divide both of those pieces by negative 4t. So if I divide them both by negative 4t, that would leave in this piece a t left. That's going to turn that to minus, and 24 divided by 4, that will make that 6. So now if I set those equal to 0, my first one, negative 4t, is equal to 0, and t minus 6 is equal to 0. Well, that one would get me t is equal to 0, and this one would get me t is equal to 6. Okay, so remember that t in our equation represented the amount of time in seconds. So how long does it take for the soccer ball to come back to the ground? Is it going to come back to the ground at 0 seconds? Well, no, you haven't even kicked it yet. So you're going to kick it at 0. That would be this place where it starts. It's going to go up, come all the way back down 6 seconds later. So our answer on number 1 here, let me get a new color so we can see it, will be 6 seconds. Now, I don't know about you, but that's one heck of a soccer ball kicker. It says that the two boys are just kicking it back and forth. They must be a long way apart. They're not just doing any little dribbling and passing. They're booting that thing. Okay, so there's our first answer. I've got another follow-up, just like your assignment's going to have. The next question, what's the highest point the ball will go? So if we think about them, we've got our 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We kick it, it comes back down. I didn't draw that very well. Let me try again. We know that a parabola is symmetrical. So 6. Well, if I just tried to just draw it, it would draw better. There we go. That's a little bit better. So we'll call that one 0 and that one 6. Let me get this nonsense out of here. So what's the highest point that ball will go? So what we're looking for there would be the y value of the vertex. That would be the highest point that it goes. And we did this earlier in the year. You can get the x of the vertex by using negative b over 2a. So that'll tell us how long it took for it to get to its highest. So let's go ahead and start with that. Our equation that we have, I've scrolled it off the screen, but it was negative 4t squared plus 24t. So my b is 24. Negative 24 over 2 times my a. My a right here is 4, negative 4. And what's going to happen, you got a negative by negative, so that's going to be a positive. So you're looking, 2 times 4 is 8. 24 divided by 8, so 3. So after 3 seconds, the ball is going to be its highest. And you could have got that by using common sense. What's halfway between 0 and 6? Well, that has to be 3. But now that doesn't answer the question, how high? So you've got to take your 3, plug it back in here to see how high that gets me. So I'm going to do negative 4 times 3 squared plus 24 times 3. So 3 squared is 9. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36 plus 24 times 3 I think is 72. 4 times 3 is 12, yeah, 72. So I'm looking at negative 36 plus 72, which is 36. So what's the highest point the ball will go? Let me get a new color so you can see it. Negative 36 plus 72 is 36 feet. Okay, so I'm just going to give you for your assignment, I've got it typed out already because it's, y'all know what my messy handwriting looks like, so when I go to the next screen it's typed out. But I'm going to give you one scenario like this, and then how we did a couple of follow-up questions. I got 3 follow-up questions for you. And you'll just show your work and submit this, take a picture of it, whatever works best for you. Okay, let me get my, oh lordy. Okay, well here it is. So we got Eric up at the top of a cliff that's 500 feet from the ocean surface, and he's waiting on his friend to climb up and meet him. As he's waiting, he decides to start casually tossing pebbles off the side of the cliff. The equation that represents the height of his pebbles, so he's not just throwing them straight down like that, he's tossing it, so it's going up and then coming down. It's making that big parabolic shape. The equation that represents the height of his pebbles, S equals negative t squared plus 5t plus 500. S is the distance in feet, so that's how high it is up. T is the time in seconds. So A, how long does it take the pebble to hit the water? So that would be your 0. Okay, so he's up here at 500 feet high, but he's tossing that pebble, and then it's coming down here and hitting the water. So you just are needing to solve your equation and find that. B, if 15 seconds has gone by, how high is the pebble? Well, T is time in seconds, so you're just going to plug 15 seconds in there in both of your T's and see how high it is. C, what's the highest point the pebble will go? So that is your vertex again. So just like we did in the previous problem, down here on this one, you'll start off by doing negative B over 2A, and then whatever you get, you have to plug it back in and see how high your pebble goes. Okay? All right, y'all have some fun with that. Get it done.